Yes, people, a very happy morning to all of you. So, guys, I take this as opportunity to welcome all my lovable students to Fortune's Fun Learning Academy. Look at the curtains. This is for all of you. So, guys, before we start discussing the accountancy subject, this session or today's session, guys, I'm going to bifurcate into two parts. In the first session, which is going to be about for 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to carry out an introduction session where I would give a brief introduction about this gentleman, right? After that, I'll be giving a brief introduction about the academy, and from there I'll wind up this first session by discussing an important point, that why a student should join FFLA right from the beginning of 11th standard, and why is FFLA the go-to place for the 11th and 12th standard students. So after that, we'll take a small break, then we'll come back and continue with the session 2, where I'll start discussing with all of you what is accounting, or what is accountancy, or what is bookkeeping in a very simple language from a layman point of view. Today, I'm not going to discuss something which is very technical or difficult to understand. Today, in a very simple language, we'll try to understand what is accounting all about. Right? So, are you all geared up for the session? So, yes, people. So, my name is Prathik Jain. I am a chartered accountant by profession and a teacher by hardcore passion. So, I started my career in the year 2009. Immediately after completing my 12th standard, I got into a professional course, which is a top-notch profession in the country, which is called as Chartered Accountancy course. I completed thereon the CA.CPT, which is now called as CA Foundation. Back then it was called as CA.CPT. So after completing my CA.CPT and CA Intermediate in the second attempt, from there I moved on to join Deloitte, which is a multinational auditing firm, to pursue my articleship. So all of you must be new to this commerce stream. So you might also be new to the CA journey. So in the CA course, guys, it is mandatory that a student has to undergo a training period for about 2 years. Back then 3 years, now it is 2 years, where you have to work under a chartered accountant, for a period of 2 years. And this is a norm which is compulsory as per the CA course. So I was in Deloitte for about 4.5 years, in which the 3 years with the articleship period. Then the next 1 year, I served as an audit executive. And then in 2015, after qualifying as a chartered accountant, I was there as an associate manager, as a qualified CA. I was there with them for 6 months. After having gathered a diversified experience in auditing multiple industries, from there I moved on to become the senior finance manager, heading the accounts and finance department for an agri-based private limited company. So at the age of 25 people, I was the youngest person to head a department in any company, whereas all the other department heads were all 33, 35, 40 plus. So after having gathered a massive experience in the startup world for about 1.5 years, from there I moved on to start my own CA practicing firm. So I was practicing for about 2 years and a little bit more than that, during which we had set a very good client base. But somewhere a sense of satisfaction, I was not getting it, right? So then in that period, I evaluated myself and I found that I had a little bit more inclination towards teaching and mentoring people rather than doing the practice related work. That is when we started Fortune's Fun Learning Academy. So Fortune's Fun Learning Academy aims to provide interactive, physical or online classes for both CBSE and state board students right from grade 9 to 12, where we not only focus on exam, but also we believe in providing the wider clarity on the concept in a very fun learning way. And in the coming year onwards, we are also going to onboard ICAC people, IAC people, if I'm not wrong, because their syllabus is at par with the CBSE. So we will be onboarding those students as well. So students all over India and UAE could attend these classes. In UAE, CBSE schools, yes, there also you have the same syllabus. So even those people are also part of our journey. So what do I do in Fortune's Fun Learning Academy is basically I handle the accountancy subject for the grade 11th and 12th for both CBSE and State Board. Now, State Board, we have stopped it. My main focus is on CBSE. And then we have another academy by name Kalpavriksha Academy, which aims to provide interactive physical classes and online classes for the professional courses such as CA, ACCA, CMA, CS, CFA from the best faculties of the country. And I always, fill with emotion and a sense of deep pride whenever I look at these posters. If you can see the recent 12 CBSE result that were announced. So we had one of our students scoring 100 in accountancy, a centum in accountancy. I don't know how many of you are aware, but in CBSE, scoring a centum is not that easy, right? And this is my third board examination with the students after COVID. This is the third board examination with my students. And I've been trying very hard to get a centum for the students and for myself. And finally, this time we succeeded in the recent board examination where Kritin had scored 100 in the accountancy subject of the board examination. If you look at the other scores, it is 99, 99, 99, 98, 98, 98, 97, 96. Look at the scores that we have scored. It goes on and on. I've curtailed the list only to these 2 pages. If you just flip on the pages, there are so many students who have scored 90 plus. So many students scoring 90 plus. So now, after setting a huge benchmark, now the time is there to raise up that benchmark. Now there are a lot of people who have been scoring 99, 98, 97. Now I want that benchmark to be raised a bit more. And I want more number of people to start scoring 100. And to get 100, whatever is required will be together as a team working towards it. Is the deal okay? Not okay? Yes or no? Yes. Not loud enough. Yes. Much better. So guys, this was about me and a small brief introduction about the academy. Now the question is, sir, why should we join FFLA? FFLA stands for Fortunes Fun Learning Academy. So why should we join FFLA? So the first and foremost point is, guys, the class is conducted by a chartered accountant. So I give you my introduction at the beginning. So all of you know by now, I've known that I am a qualified CA who has got a very good hold on the subject matter, where I will go to an extent to make all the complicated concept, I'll convert all the complicated concept in an easy manner and present it to all of you in a way that you can just understand, absorb it so smoothly and so nicely. How many of you have eaten this Krishna Sweets Mysore Pak? Mysore Pak Krishna Sweets of Coimbatore is very famous. You take a piece of it, put it inside your mouth. Vasant Rajan says, yes. You put a piece in your mouth. Do you need to chew very long and then after that gulp it down? Or the moment you put it down, it goes inside. How is it? Correct? The moment you put inside, it just melts. So the classes that I'm intending to take here should be like that Mysore Pak, where you just read the accountancy subject. You should not take any effort to remember it. You should not take any effort to learn it. It should smoothly blend in your mind. So that is the vision with which I started this academy. So being a chartered accountant, the clarity that I have on the subject matter, the hold that I have on the subject matter is way more higher than anyone else. So here, by doing this, what do you achieve? You will be getting the conceptual clarity. In CBSE, all of you know that till the last minute you go in the examination hall, you are not sure from which chapter the question will come, how the question will come, from which concept the question will come. Correct? But in matriculation, it's not the same. In matriculation, whatever book they are following, you practice those questions like 10 times. 11th time when they ask the question in the main exam, it is pretty much the same question. Number and name alone slightly changed. But in CBSE, it is not like that. You will not know which concept they'll blend and they'll ask you. So you'll be in suspense till you get the question paper in your hand. So imagine if your examination is concept based, then your learning also should be concept based. It cannot be rote learning where you do format based learning or formula based learning. So in accounting, you will have across multiple places the format to be learned, the formulas to be learned. But by adding the format and formula is not going to help you. We will understand each and every format, why it is given in that way. the formula, the logic behind it, the concept behind it, we'll try to understand it. So the amount of knowledge what you're going to gather in the next 2 years will be tremendous and huge and way more than any of your friends who's not here. That is my assurance. And you can take it from me in writing. What writing? I'm telling you on recorded class. I'll put this on YouTube. So you will come back to me after 2 years and tell me that, sir, my knowledge is 10x more than any of my friend who is studying with me. So first point of being in FFLA is that you're learning from a chartered accountant. And that CA is going to give you a conceptual clarity, which means you have to by heart nothing, people. Each and every point will be properly explained and you have a proper understanding of the subject. You will not by heart anything at all. So the first and the foremost reason of me starting FFLA is that I wanted to create a conceptual learning environment. Second reason why I started FFLA is to provide a strong base, for the students who are planning to pursue CA in future or other accounting oriented profession. So after 12th standard, among you, few of them will go to pursue CA degree. Few of you will go to some other stream. Few of you want to do accounting oriented profession, but you don't want to do CA, you want to do something related to accounts. So for all of you, what is the base? The 11th and 12th is the base. If this is understood properly, people, if this is understood properly, you'll have a lovely time in the professional courses. All my students who have done 11th and 12th with me, no doubt they have scored excellently well in the 12th grade board exam. At the same time, when such people have traveled to the CA course and they did the CA foundation examination, they have scored excellent marks in the CA foundation also. I'm talking about accountancy. In CA, I don't know how many of you have heard, getting 50 or 60 is a big achievement. If you get 50, 60, people feel that, oh, such a great achievement. But on the contrary, my students have gone all the way to score 60s, 70s, 80s, 95s. So 95 is the top score that my student has got from our academy. And that time, in that girl, she got 95 accounts. She was South India first and all over India 5th level as per the unverified list. Right? So that is the hold that this 11th and 12th can provide you. So 11th and 12th is going to set a very strong base. If you learn it, if you conceptually understand the subject matter in 11th and 12th, your accounting related courses, what you pick in the future is going to be very, 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 very smooth. That is my assurance. That is my promise. You can also cross-check with your seniors who are currently undergoing my CA foundation classes, intermediate classes in this academy. Right? So second reason of why you should be in FFLA is that apart from having the conceptual understanding, we also believe in providing the exam-oriented preparation. Because at the end of the day, you have to face the board examination. So from the examination point of view, whatever is required, how the learning has to be done, how the revision has to be done, how the paper needs to be presented, that also would be taken care. So some people have a doubt that, sir, if you only teach conceptual part of the subject, in exam, how do we present? How do you write it? So who will guide us? I'll only be guiding. So exam-oriented preparation also you'll look up to something from here. Next, so what else can we find in FFLA? Adequate revisions will be provided and test will be conducted with appropriate comments. So let me come one by one. Revision will form a very crucial part. Revision is going to form a very crucial part in the entire journey of 11th and 12th standard, which a lot of people underestimate. People think that if today the classes has been conducted, so whenever sir is conducting test next time, or whenever the school teachers are conducting the test next time, so one day before that we'll revise, that is more than sufficient. If that is your thought process, my dear friends, let me tell you, you will be in deep trouble in the near future. So I'll be suggesting you certain revision techniques, how and what you have to follow. And upon following that, I'm assuring you, I'm promising you that your understanding, your comfortability on the subject will be way higher than doing the revision one day before the exam. And this point, when I'm discussing with all of you, there's one instance, just strike in my mind, which I want to share with all of you. So I have this habit of revising a lot in the class, because whenever I ask people to revise at home, people don't do it. They're like, sir, we'll revise income, but they don't revise it. So I don't have trust on students. So I have this tendency and habit of, doing the revision multiple times in the class. So once it so happened that I was traveling to my native place, right? So I was in railway station via train. I was going to my native place. And just besides me, there's one student of mine 2 years ago, he was my student. So that student of mine was sitting with me. So we were casually doing a normal chit chat and going along. Suddenly, in the conversation, he said that, "Sir, can I tell something if you don't mind?" I was like, "Go ahead." He's like, "Sir, you have one very bad habit. You keep on revising multiple times in class, no? So it is very, very annoying. Because sometimes, same thing again, if you hear it, becomes really annoying." So he started that. I was like, "Oh shit, this guy is going to talk something bad about me." That was the feeling I got from within. Then he said, "But sir, when I sat in the examination, when I took the question paper in hand, when I used to read that question, I used to literally imagine your face on the paper, like how you used to read the question while taking the class. How you used to, tell this is how the question should be read. This is how the concept should be related." So all that was back of the mind, subconsciously it was running. And I didn't have to put any effort to, do the solution in the paper. So automatically the flow was coming. I was able to imagine your face on the paper and how you instruct in class, no? So back of the mind, that subconsciously that instruction was happening, and I was smoothly writing the paper. So at the end of the conversation, I didn't understand whether he was trying to, compliment me for this work or he was trying to pull me down. But one thing was very clear when he said that, so this is helping us. Initially, we felt that multiple time revision is annoying. But in the examination, with these pointers, and very vividly we remember, no, that time we feel that whatever you did in class back then was very much okay. So after that, my motivation for this became very higher. So now I have started the revision dosage very much extra in the routine classes. So now you'll get to see a lot of times recapping the points. So until and unless next time you come and tell me, "Sir, we also could see your face in the question paper." So I'll wait for that day to come. So revision is definitely going to form, a very crucial part of your journey. So revision, definitely I'll help you in the class. But apart from that, you'll have to put in your personal efforts to revise it in the regular intervals so that you don't get into discomfort during the examination. So test will be conducted chapter-wise test, and the paper is evaluated again by CA. So you saw Anita ma'am, right? So she is also a chart accountant. So she'll be evaluating the papers with proper comment. Means what? Where you've gone wrong. So she'll be commenting on that. So looking at that comment, you'll get to know where your weakness is lying, and accordingly, you'll make efforts to bounce back. So one thing here I want to add one more thing here is that people in 11th standard take this accountancy subject very, very lightly. The reason being the 10th, which you have recently passed by, that entire year has been quite hectic. You've been having, day-long school, then you've been having tuitions, project works, tests, this, that. So people, have that kind of a phenomenon where, they feel that 11th, I should relax. Because again, 12th, you have to do the same kind of hard work or same kind of preparatory level. Your marathon will again begin. So people think that in 11th will relax, will not go to any tuition, will not study that much, will relax. In 12th, will take care of. So relaxing is a good thing. I really appreciate it, but not at the cost of losing the subject. Why? Because 12th begins where the 11th ends. So 12th is a continuation of 11th standard. So if you don't take 11th account seriously, you're going to have a very tough time in the 12th standard. And accountancy is one subject, guys, which you're learning for the very first time, very, very first time in the 11th standard. Until 10th standard, you have not even heard accounts ka even A. So this is the very first time that you're going to know what is accounting all about. Correct? So if you don't take accountancy subject that seriously in 11th standard, in 12th, you'll have a very, very tough time in cracking it. You'll not believe currently 12th standard people, previous year 12th standard people who joined me freshly in 12th, they had a very weak base in 11th standard, to which they came and admitted us, telling that, "Sir, we are not having a strong hold in 11th, so please help us with 11th classes." And those people in the month of Feb, March, April, May, they were seeing and literally sitting and watching the recorded lecture of the 11th standard when in 12th standard. So studying 11th in 11th is better, or studying 11th in 12th is better? You tell. Obviously, studying 11th in 11th is much better than studying in 12th. Now, why did they study 11th and 12th? Because when the school started, when they are not able to cope up in the class, they understood that this is all connected to 11th standard. Now they've realized, now when the pants is on fire, they'll go to any extent to extinguish that fire. Does this make sense? Absolutely not. And here I can add one more point. If I have to relate accountancy, I'll relate it to mathematics. If you remember in the first standard, You are being introduced to the number system for the very first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, the number system. Then you learned what is the procedure of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage, fraction. So can I say these are the basics of mathematics? So my question goes to all of you. If these basics are not strong enough, will you be in position to solve the complicated mathematical problems? Without the concept of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fraction, will you be able to solve the complicated, big problems? Yes or no? Impossible. In the similar manner, if you don't understand the 11th chapters properly, the first half of the 11th chapter is very crucial, because in that we're going to study the basics of accounting, the rules of accounting. And this is what we're going to apply in the second half of the 11th standard. So in the second half of the 11th standard itself, you'll see yourself getting screwed if you don't have the first half clear. And the first two, that is 11th standard, is not completely clear. Your 12th will be gone for a toss. So definitely I'm with you that in 11th, you should little bit relax compared to 10th and 12th. You should be relaxing, but don't relax that much in a way that you lose a total grip over the subject. So studying wherever required, enjoying wherever required, you have to balance the life and take it. Am I making sense in whatever I'm talking? Is my conversation making sense to all of you? Online people, is my conversation making sense to all of you? Online people, hello?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Next, I understand that it is not possible for all the students to be 100% present throughout the year. You might take leave, or you might be absent in the class due to multiple reasons. Maybe you're not well, you have a family function to attend, you have to go outstation. There's so many reasons. So what happens when a student takes off? He comes back to the next class after missing 2-3 classes. He comes and sits in the class. Will he or she understand anything of what is happening in that moment or that particular class? Obviously not. And in CBSE accounts, I'll tell you guys, every class there's something new that you will learn. So if you don't understand what is happening in the previous class, the next class you will find it Greek and Latin. Very rarely there'll be few instances where the topic is not connected to the previous topic, but most of the time the topic that I'm going to take in the next class will be connected to the current class. So now the problem what we faced in the initial period is that when a student is absent with like back to back 3-4 classes, when he comes and sits, he doesn't understand it. So he would expect a teacher to repeat those points at least in a summarized form so that he can get it brushed up. Tell me people, if you have missed 3 classes, my each class is of 1.5 hours. Means into 3 means how many hours? 4.5 hours. 1.5 to 3 is how much? 4.5 hours class. Do you think 4.5 hours of classes any teacher will have time to again take? No. The 4.5 hours class what you missed, if I summarize in 30 minutes, do you think you'll be able to understand better? 4.5 hours class in 30 minutes, is it possible to summarize? That too, when you're learning the subject for the very first time, is it possible to summarize? Not possible. So who is at the losing end? Yukti, who is at the losing end? Students are at the losing end. So for this problem, I came out with a solution that I will do a digital setup of my classes where I will record all my classes. I'll record all the classes and I'll give it to all of you in the encrypted format. So there's a particular software that will be given to you. My videos, you'll be able to play only in that software. So if you're absent for 3 straight days, so before you come to the next class, what are you supposed to do? Complete those 3 backlogs of the classes and come to the next class. So the continuation is maintained. So this is something which everybody is liking about us and they want to join us because you don't miss anything. Even if you miss it, you don't have a fear because you have something in form of recorded classes to take the entire session one more time for you. Makes sense? And the next reason why you should be in FFLA is that I always believe that the learning environment should be very positive, should be very friendly, because you're going to spend crucial amount of time here with me in next 2 years. So these moments I wanted to make it joyful. I wanted to have a very good relation and bond with all my students, so that whenever we meet, later 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, we meet with good hugs and with that affection and love what we are meeting today. So that kind of a environment I wanted to create for my students. Unlike the typical tuition center where you come inside the class with that negative mindset, with the forceful nature that I have to sit and attend the tuition, because if I don't attend tuition, I'll not understand. With that compulsion, people go to tuition. No, I didn't want any kind of that mindset my students should have. All of my students, whenever they're coming into class, they should come with the happy mindset that yes, today we are going with Pratik sir's class, and today we'll get something new to learn about it. Sir is there to share a lot of his personal experiences, which is going to help me in my future journey. So with that optimistic mindset, I want each and every of my student to walk in every single class. So therefore, the classes I wanted to make it very interactive. So very jovial, and you will find me being, close to your friend. To that level, I'll maintain myself so that you be absolutely comfortable to discuss whatever you want to discuss with. Of course, there'll be a thin line in between so that we have that student-teacher relation. But apart from that, I'll be that much friendly enough for you to be very comfortable with me to discuss on the subject matter or anything whichever you feel comfortable, which you feel you want a opinion from me or you want a guidance from me. I will always, as a friend, as a mentor, be available for all of you. Wherever required, from the examination perspective, from the learning perspective, there are a lot of tips and tricks that I'll be sharing with all of you, which will help you in this journey of 11th and 12th standard. So that is something which I keep on relentlessly sharing with all my students. Finally, the atmosphere that we have kept is very comfortable, so that each and every student who's coming and sitting in the premises should feel very comfortable, very luxurious, so that the journey what you're going to spend with me for next 2 years is going to be very pleasant. So this air-conditioned infrastructure is only for offline people. Online people, there's no other option. You'll be interacting with me only through Zoom. So yes, so the last point is only for the offline people. So guys, this is why you're supposed to be at FFLA. So now the session is open for the discussion. If there's anything that you want me to ask, so I'll open the session for questions. Anything that you want to know?
Apart from the classes that we regularly want, in case we have any exam upcoming, like for school, if we have any classes that
Okay.
help us out with it or continue.
You mean to say the other subjects?
No, accountancy.
Okay. So now here there are two things that I want to discuss on. One, what the student is asked is that, sir, while you're taking the classes, in certain week of a month, you might have a school test. So here, one thing which I instantly remembered what she said, one is that you are having a school test this entire coming week. So now, sir, should we come to tuition or not? So obviously, you will say, sir, we have exams, so we will not come to tuition. So if you don't come to tuition, what will happen? So let's suppose tomorrow, Monday, you have exam. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days back-to-back exam, because you have 5 major subjects. So 5 back-to-back exams. So when is the next accounting class? Tuesday. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Now imagine Tuesday you don't come. Why? Because you have to prepare for Wednesday's exam. Thursday will not come because you have to prepare for the Friday's exam. So you're missing 2 classes. So when you miss 2 classes, what happens is that if you are able to cover up those 2 classes in form of recording immediately after Friday, that is Friday 1 class and Saturday morning, if you sit and complete the class and then come to my Saturday's class, I have no problem. You can take off on Tuesday and Thursday. But if you feel that, sir, we don't have sufficient time to cover up the recording of those 2 classes, then what should I do? Then I would say that please don't bunk. The solution that I give even to the 12th graders is that please understand, when you have test tomorrow, you're not going to prepare freshly today. 1 month before or 3 weeks before, you know the teacher, the concept when she started, the chapter when she started, you know that very well down, 3 weeks down the line, madam will conduct the test. So when she's starting the chapter, it is your duty, that is your duty to study the topic then and there. So tomorrow when there is exam, and today when you sit and study, you will not sit and study, you will do revision. There's a difference between study and revision. Study means what? You'll put in a lot of efforts, you'll put in a lot of time to learn it for the very first time. But in revision, what happens? Already the point which is there in your mind, you're just recollecting it. So when it is only revision, you will have no pain in coming and sitting in the class today. When will you have a pain in coming and sitting in the class? When you're going to study afresh today, you'll have a pressure in mind. Oh shit, I have to prepare for tomorrow's exam. So I cannot concentrate in accounts class today. So definitely I'm going to skip my class today. You will decide. Correct, no? So what are you supposed to do? First thing is that whenever teacher is taking the topic, 3 weeks ago, 1 month ago, whatever chapter she started, then and there you have to complete your learning. So today, when you're attending my Sunday's class, today you should be comfortable in coming in attending the class here because you already learned it. So before my class and after my class, what are you going to do? Only the revision of tomorrow's exam. So by that virtue, you'll not have a pressure in your mind. Second, if you feel that, sir, I don't want to attend the entire 1.5 hours class offline or online, you can attend half the class live. After the break, the remaining half of the class you can leave and go. So what happens? Sunday, today's class is there. You're attending only 30 minutes of my class or 40 minutes of my class. Attending 40 minutes of my class, is it a big pain? Is it really uncomfortable to attend 40 minutes of my class despite having tomorrow's exam? No. So 40 minutes easily you can attend. Sir, what about the class after the break? So that I'm giving recorded. So what you can do is Monday, you can spend another 30-40 minutes to watch the recording class. So what happens? Sunday half class live you watched. Same class, second half, you'll watch it recorded the next day. So what are you doing? You're shifting the burden in 2 days. You're breaking the burden into 2 parts. So half the burden you're taking on Sunday, half of it you're taking on Monday. So by that virtue, you don't have too much pressure on yourself. This is what current 12 people are doing, because you are coming from different school. So each school will have exam in different week. So this week Yuva will come and say, sir, I have exam. Next week PSVP will come and say. After that DPS will come and say. So if I keep on giving holidays in between, then what will happen? We'll not be able to complete the portions on time. So my class which I'm starting today, it will stop only by mid or Jan end. So mid or Jan end is the date by when I'll be completing 11th syllabus. So we'll go aram se, there's no hurry. I will not rush up the portions where the way the school rush up. For us, each and every chapter, each and every concept is important, because this will set a strong base for 12th. Second thing, sir, in case in this period of examination in the school, if you have any doubts, in the topic, so can we come back and ask you for the doubts? 100% you're more than welcome to ask the doubts. So generally 10 o'clock in the night up to 12:30 in the night, that is the time when I take up the counseling sessions, free counseling sessions, and I also do my doubt clarification sessions for my students. So definitely you can reach out to me just one day before. You can intimate, sir, today night or tomorrow night I'll be calling you for the doubt clarification, so please help me out. So definitely I'll try to help you out. And one thing, please be very clear, the portions what school will be taking to you and the portions what I'll be taking, definitely there'll be some gap at some point of the time or the other. So today I'm starting the class. So people who are starting the school tomorrow, we might have the portions going side by side. But for the people, those who have already started the syllabus, you will be way ahead and I'll be behind. And school has the tendency of going little faster because they have a target to complete the portion within a specific month. And I don't have such target. I'm not driven by any target. My goal is what, if any student is coming to my academy, he should comfortably learn and thrive through the subject. That is what is my notion. So by that virtue, I'll never rush with the portions. So we might be ahead of the school, we might be behind the school, but that should not create any kind of panic in your mind is what my request is. Because ultimately what I'm preparing is for your main exam, 11th annual exam and 12th board exam. For that, mainly I'm preparing it. So in between school test, you might need some support. You ask me, I'll help you out with the doubts. But will you understand it 100% well? I'm not sure, because you are way forward. Let's say today somebody comes and asks me, sir, in the trial balance, I have this doubt. And today I'm just starting accountancy. So today, how will I give you a clarity on trial balance? Not possible. So I might give you here and there little bit clarification, but too much of in-depth teaching on the phone, not possible. But to some extent, whichever is required for the examination purpose, definitely I'll help you out with. So have I answered your query? Yes. So that was a query of one of the student which I answered. So any other doubts, please? If not, we can take a short break. We can come back and start a fresh video where we can start discussing about accounts. Okay. Online people, any queries, please?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fantastic.
No, sir.
So I will be online students and the recorded classes students, anybody who's watching this video recorded. So I'll be closing this video and I'll be starting a fresh video after the break, so that we have 2 separate videos for introduction and for the accounting, right? And yeah, we have one more down. Yes. So there's one more query. I'll take it up and then I'll wind up the session.
Yeah, as you said, you will complete the syllabus during Jan.
So Jan mid Pongal or Jan end, definitely will be completing it.
So after that, during exam time, there will be tuition for revision.
So the question is, sir, let's say you complete the syllabus by Jan and we have the examination of 11th annual exam in the Feb month. So that time, will the academy be available for revision? So in that time, what happens is I'll be available for the doubt clarification. So let's suppose we have completed the syllabus by Jan end. So let's say Feb second week, you have examination. So you can, one day before, you can come down to academy with me. You can sit and clarify all your doubts, whatever is required. So that support is there till the examination. So whenever is the examination, for some people the examination is Feb, some people have the 11th examination in March first week. So you can be rest assured, I'll be there to support you till the exam is getting over. Have I answered your query? Fantastic. Anything else? Okay. So I have a unique style of winding up the session. So please don't laugh at it. This is my signature style. So with this, I'll wind up today's session and I'll take a small break. We'll come back and continue with the next session. So online people and recorded class people. So that's all from my side for this first session. I'll see you around in the next session. Until then, bye-bye. See you. Take care.